It is time for the final preparations on this account. You see, at this point on the account, most of our characters are built to the point that we're probably going to be able to get them to, but we have been running our Ningguang on Prototype Amber, which is probably the smarter thing to do. But I do want to level our Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds, and so I scrapped together a couple of artifacts. Wait, what happened? Okay, there, I fixed it. Now she's on 2 sets of 2-piece attack percent bonus. Her stats aren't anything crazy, but artifact drops have not been kind to me. However, I also have been farming a lot of the husk set, and I am happy to report that I'm not happy. Ito's flower, it's good, it's fine, I like it, we'll keep it. Feather, I don't like. I would really like some crit rate on that, but I've yet to get a better one, and I've dumped everything in the strongbox trying. I'm running an off-piece Sands with double crit, and of course we got a ton of flat HP rolls, because for onset defense percent, I don't have a single one with crit rate, which means everything else has to be onset. So we have this horrendous Geo damage bonus goblet, and unfortunately a circlet that doesn't have double crit. Now I would love to run this circlet because it's crit damage and crit rate, but if I switch to that one, my crit rate sucks. So that is why, for now, Ito's gonna be stuck with this ratio. Then because I kind of put Ningguang on a more of a sub DPS build, I did swap the Traveler over to Noblesse. She doesn't do a whole lot of damage anyway, so because she's on Favonius, I made sure she has at least 50% crit rate, and then we essentially just put up the burst to unlock our additional 10% crit rate, which I mean, technically, we know Goro and Ito have to be on the same team. But if I ran the Traveler as our 4th slot, then maybe I could kind of copium get away with running this. As with the Geo Traveler's burst up, we would be at 63% crit rate. That is still very much not ideal. But let's see how we feel about it. I figure it has kind of been quite a while since we actually used Ito on here. All right, charged attack. 34k, 30... Oh, I accidentally canceled there. My bad. 65k. Oh, it seems like everyone gets their bursts back in time, which is good. Now, obviously, that's kind of to be expected on a Geo-only account, but in the past, I do remember Ito had some difficulties getting his burst back on time. Now, the reason why today is cleanup day on this account is because this account is genuinely at a point where I kind of just have to wait for the Spiral Abyss to be doable for us. Because as we saw, I think in the last episode, there's an enemy in there right now that I just cannot kill with Geo only. And now, of course, getting better artifacts would help. I mean, not with the Lava Dragon statue, though. That just would not help with that either. But as we know, artifacts are entirely RNG. And so I literally might not get another upgrade ever. More importantly, though, I don't think you want every single episode on this account to just be me farming artifacts, as I imagine that would get very boring very fast. So I essentially just want to finish up these builds the best that I currently can. And then we kind of just wait for the Spiral Abyss while I farm off camera for artifacts. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know if even putting Ningguang onto a sub DPS build is smart, because that means I have to swap to her, use her burst, which she gets back very often. But literally just putting her on the field for any amount of time might be kind of a waste of DPS. But since there's not too much more we can do on this account at this point, I figure we might as well go ahead and try out a sub DPS Ningguang. It's not like we're losing anything by leveling this. And there we go, level 90, which brings her crit ratio to 84/130. If I do try to min-max some artifacts, I think I might be able to improve that. While I get those artifacts sorted, it is time for something that we have not seen on the channel for a while. Hello and thank you for joining us. Today, we have a breaking story on the sponsor of this video, Boot.dev. When it comes to learning a new skill, boredom is one of the toughest obstacles to overcome. Most people would rather watch an entertaining YouTube video or play a video game instead of having to sit through a mind-numbing tutorial or class. Boot.dev aims to change this by turning the learning experience into something that feels more like a video game. As you progress through the different lessons for each topic, you'll earn XP, levels, and complete quests that actually rank you on a global leaderboard. If you're never bored, it's way easier to actually achieve your goals. Now I'll throw it over to reporter Java, who's out in the field. Java? Thanks, Java. I am currently located in the back end of not that back end, like the coding back Java. Yeah, well, yeah, what? Let's try to keep it professional. Yeah, okay. I'm currently located in the back end of web development. Apparently, this stuff can make you quite a bit of money. According to Stack Overflow, the yearly median salary for back-end developers in the US in 2024 was over $100,000. That's way more than this news station pays me. Excuse you, I think we pay you. But of course, to start on this career path, you need to write a lot of code and build real projects so that you can experience what you'll do on the job. Boot.dev will walk you through all of that, teaching you languages such as Python, JavaScript, oh, hey, that's me, and more from start to finish. Thanks, Java. Wait, what? Ask me why I'm wearing glasses. We are literally on air right... Okay. Why are you wearing glasses? Because I'm Java, so I don't see sharp. Get it? Because JavaScript. Yep, that's enough out of you. All of Boot.dev's content is free to read and watch in guest mode. A paid membership unlocks the interactive features like hands-on coding, AI assistance, progress tracking, and game mechanics. Their goal is to help you forge a successful programming career without losing interest along the way. So go to Boot.dev and try out the course for free, then use my code JavaTheCup to get 25% off your first month or entire first year if you choose the annual plan. This has been Java News. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you Java nice day. Okay, now she's on 2-piece Shimenawa, 2-piece Gladiator with a crit damage circlet instead. And that gets her to 71,173. Are you ready to see huge damage? Walk through this, bana boom, and it's like 11,000, 10,000 per hit. It's damage. Now, it doesn't say how many shards it actually shoots out in her burst, but since her C6 boosts the number to 7, we can assume it fires 6, and then if the jade screen is up, it fires an additional 6. If that is the case, then that means her burst, if we always crit and all the projectiles actually hit the enemy, it'd be doing about 132,000 damage, which is quite a bit, especially with that 40 burst cost. However, we can improve this to do even more damage. So now, if we come over, and I don't have my burst up. Let's try that again. Put down the skill, walk through it, use the burst, and now it's 12,000 per hit. Well, for some of that, meaning ideally the burst in total could do 144,000. So I feel like spamming that during a battle could be decent. We have already attempted the Spiral Abyss this rotation, though I do want to try it again with different teams just to see how they feel. So we'll do an Ito team on the first half, and then a Ningguang team second half. Though of course our Ningguang is not really going to be the main DPS. We are aiming to use her as sub DPS. Let's get things started with a couple bursts. I brought Mr. Ito on the side that has more enemies because he is decent against AoE stuff. Or rather, he is the AoE stuff. And at least for now, all the bursts are coming up in time. We like to see that here. Then it's time for Team Ningguang. Let's do it. Let's just throw a burst in there for fun. It doesn't do that much, but to be fair, this dude does have resistances. However, an issue we're gonna run into is this side does not have sustain. Ningguang used to be the sustain. However, that is no longer the case. Ooh, and that is a very bad thing, especially if our Chiori takes damage, as she is currently on Harbinger of Dawn, which is actually stupid because I'm not using Shalonen at the moment. Now that I see the issue on the other half, I have ideas for better teams that I could run instead of these two, but it's okay. I will just have to try and play out of my mind on the other side. We just can't let Navia die. It's really easy. Oh, maybe not that easy. Is not going well. Oh, well, I mean, I said I can't let Navia die, right? Ningguang dying, that's not what I said I was going to try to prevent. Look at that. It's so easy. Practically a free 3-star. Okay, right here, Ito is struggling a bit for his burst. So ideally, more ER would be appreciated. Can I still somehow manage to 3-star this? I'm going to assume probably not. No, don't kill Navia. Okay, one. Oh, right. I thought it was just 2 of the YABs. Oh, I am so dead. Nope. No. You will not kill me. I will play out of my mind. Oh, you're going to kill me. Ooh. And now you're going to teleport back to the middle. I'm not even going to waste anything. Go ahead. Do it. I'm wasting things. Now you teleport to the middle. I'm going to use my burst to avoid that attack. Then we do this. We cycle here. Wow. I still managed to 3-star this. That is insane. I'm actually cracked. Okay. So on this account, we essentially have 3 main DPSs being Ito, Navia, and Shalonen. Now, both Ito and Shalonen like to play with Goro. Navia doesn't really need Yunjin, but I figured it's not a bad character to run with her. However, as it does boost normal attacks, she's also a good character to run with the Shalonen team. Shalonen just likes to have all the buffers. Chiori triggers the coordinated attacks when other characters do the normal attack, charge attacks, or plunging attacks, meaning I could use her like anywhere. But with our builds the way that they currently are, Goro at C4 is our only healer. Well, okay, kind of. Noelle technically can heal, but putting her on field using her burst with the shield up is such a loss of DPS for us. If she was C6, maybe, but she is C1. And on that note, we have not gotten very lucky with our 4-star constellations. Wait, how is Kachina at C2 when she is the newest Geo character on here, besides Shalonen. But she was a 5-star, so she doesn't count. I mean, I know we got one free Kachina, but still. Our other form of sustain is obviously Zhongli, meaning for our 2 teams, one has to have Zhongli and one has to have Goro. So for the Ito team, something like this could work. We have our DPS, we have our buffer, and the buffer also buffs Chiori. Then we have a Lumen Stone. Oh, wait. I forgot. You are on Noblesse. Noblesse buffs attack. Ito doesn't really need attack. Okay, so skipping that for now, I think this could work as the Navia team because the Noblesse actually helps out here. So I guess I could put Ningguang on the Shalonen team. And I should also point out that I'm trying to not overlap characters too much. Obviously in the Spiral Abyss, you only need 2 teams, so there will be some overlap on these. Yet, you know what? I'm just gonna put Zhongli here. I don't think I can really set up specific teams that will just be locked in forever. What I can kind of do here, since I can't beat the second half of Chamber 1, is just try out these teams on the first half, as this is the best way to figure out what I need to change. Because I know that these dudes are just so absurdly tanky. Oh, let's go after this first, actually. Now, these 2 I hate. I would love to group you 2 up a bit more or just chuck you into the air. It's also unfortunate that Goro is my only healer and he's not really a great healer and they have the heal block effect. So this is just a terrible matchup. All right, so this team cleared it with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. Now I'm gonna try the Navia team, which I don't remember what that was. Kind of wish that you could just import the teams that you've made into the Spiral Abyss when you go in to clear it. Again, this is not like the most optimal team, but I'm trying to play it realistically as what I might do if I had to split characters up, if that makes any sense. Okay, so Navia seems to have torn through this guy maybe faster, but can she do the same for these 2 dweebs? I was gonna say I'm gonna fully rely on Zhongli's shield and not try and dodge, but then the shield broke. We don't like that here. Oh, yeah, that shield is not doing much for us right now. This is when that prototype Amber Ningguang would have been a lot better. Yeah, okay, Navia just died, and we already lost in terms of timer. Final test is going to be with Ito. Can Ito do better here? Ooh, he's cutting through this. We get our burst back instantly, which we love. Oh, wait, where's his HP going? Yeah, healing is our biggest problem on here. Ito, don't do it. Don't die. Ooh, no. I'm also way too used to using Navia with Chiori, where I always spam my skill as soon as Ito gets on field, and Ito's dead. But if he lived, I think this would have been the fastest clear, just because he is better at dealing with multiple enemies. Actually, even with him dead, it's still the fastest clear. Very interesting. So I think Ningguang having a set that can be more DPS focused is a good thing, but if I need to swap her back to the healing set, then we also have that available to us. I guess what I'd like to do now is try to work on Ito's burst. You know what? While I farm, I'm going to try to make Ningguang as strong as I can by giving her every buff available on the account. Ooh, 30,000 from the shield. And then we burst and 14,000 per hit. I know we went over all this. I forget the extent to which C2 Shalonen buffs other characters, but I forget if we still do get that 50% geo damage bonus. So I will instead swap to Lumin, who we can use the Noblesse buff from. We'll put up this shield. We'll put up this burst. We'll put up Kachina stuff for the scroll set. And then I can't hit the enemy because they're behind the wall. This is why I hate Geo Traveler. We try again. Okay, so burst and then put that down, walk through it, burst again. 10. Okay, it's worse. How did I make it worse? Unless we do get the 50% geo damage bonus, and then that would explain why it was a lot worse. You know what? Let me find out. This is just Ningguang base damage with no other buffs. 2,221. I will then add Shalonen to the team. Is the damage the same or is it different? It is indeed higher, meaning we are benefiting from the 50% geo damage bonus, which now that I'm saying that, I do remember we went for the C2 specifically because that's the only way that Shalonen can buff this account, since we are obviously not able to generate samples with her. So this is like so random, but to get the maximum damage from Ningguang, we definitely would put Shalonen. I think we would do Zhongli for the resistance shred. Then it's either Noblesse with Lumin or the scroll set with Kachina. I guess the scroll set only works if we're actually crystallizing something. And then I would say that that is the stronger thing to do. But if we can't crystallize, then Lumin is better. I think I did get enough slime drops to upgrade Ito's talent. So now I'm back to test more damage. Now, unfortunately, since we are using Lost Bird to the Sacred Winds, we want her to stay on field as long as possible. 16 seconds for the entire buff, ideally. But I'm just going to put that up and then put this up, and then we'll start doing that. We'll put down this. I just realized I don't have my burst again. I'm so smart. Wait for it. There it is. Boom. It hits 4. 15k per shard. So in a perfect world, that's 180,000 damage per burst. Random side quests aside, Ito's burst can now go up to level 9. Also, this might be like really disappointing to know that I just learned this, but apparently, maybe there's one other person out there who didn't know either. When you put up Zhongli's shield, if there are nearby enemies with a Geo shield themselves, he kind of absorbs some of that. So I've always found the Geo slimes to be a bit annoying, but apparently he could just suck the shield away from them. I mean, in my defense, this is the only account I've ever had a Zhongli on. I don't know if that makes it better, but that is my excuse of choice. Okay, actually, let's test it right here. Geo slime with shield. I put this down. It does, oh my gosh, instantly destroyed its entire shield. That is very good to know. I want the Spiral Abyss to refresh so bad. Even though I know I probably can't clear the next rotation, I just want to try because this account is so close. Next update though, I believe is Skirk. Do they show us the upcoming banners? Does not look like it. There's 3 days left on this. Just show me the banners. They probably did show it in the live stream, but I have not watched that. However, I know that Skirk is coming, so there's going to be something to do with cryo damage bonus as a buff in the Spiral Abyss, and the enemies are going to want you to use cryo against them. So probably things with electro shields. I really hope they don't put the seahorse back in there, but like, as long as it's not the fire lava dragon statue thing, that is already way better for this account. Although knowing the direction that this game has been going in, it wouldn't surprise me if they put 2 of the seahorse on one side, maybe even 3. Yo, you know, Ningguang is actually not that bad. She is doing some pretty decent damage. It's just unfortunate that on a Geo only account, she doesn't really get to shine quite as much. I do wish that we had another Geo Catalyst user, as she is the only one in the game. Hey, Howeverse, how about this? A Geo Catalyst user that, for some reason, you can come up with it, is able to use all the other elements. That would make no sense whatsoever, but it'd be so nice for this account. Or, you know, at some point, unrelated to this account, you can make a Hydro Claymore user. Imagine that. Here, I'll give you this for free, Hoyoverse. Hydro Claymore user from Inazuma, who runs a coffee shop, is really good friends with the Raiden Shogun. Has brown hair, wears a Java-colored apron, and then, you know, like the Hydro and the coffee, that could kind of work. But then also, that could be the place where Ayato gets his boba tea from, because they, you know, they make tea as well, I guess. Think about it. You could use it. You can use it, Hoyoverse. I give you permission. And you could name him something like kind of generic, like coffee. No, coffee kind of weird. Maybe, I don't know, like Java. That could work. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to wave goodbye to all of our Mora, as Ito's burst is now going to be crowned. And we are now poor, meaning now it's time to try to replenish that Mora supply. Oh, would you look at that? I always forget that this guy's even in the game, because I see him so rarely. Oh, Ningguang actually does decent damage. Of course, these are against overworld enemies and not things in the Spiral Abyss. But still, when I was debating whether or not I should even try to build her as sub DPS, I had a feeling that no matter how much I tried, it would just never be good. And now, it's not great by any means, but it is way better than I expected. And guess who still hasn't done their weekly bosses? Okay, time for annoying part of fight, which Ningguang should be able to handle this. Never mind, not really that well. She's trying, and so am I. Okay, both of those are down. We should be good. Easy peasy. And then I'm just gonna use this, because why not? Okay, that I think all of the particles from her shield missed. Nice. Good job, Ningguang. Luckily, I did get one of these, because that's what I needed, as I can use my last Dream Solvent to convert one of these over. Then we once again say goodbye to Mora, as we bring Shalonen's burst to level 9. Now, thanks to this event, as well as our Stellar Reunion buffs, I can essentially farm a ley line 6 times for double drops without even having to use condensed resin. Once I do that, I'm hoping that I have enough more to upgrade another talent. All right, so it actually appears that those buffs do not overlap like I thought they did, but even so, I think we do have enough more now. So the final step is to fight the whale. Now, we either need the correct drop or Dream Solvent. We do not get Dream Solvent, and I don't remember which drop I actually needed. However, with some crafting complete, we can indeed bring Chiori's elemental skill to a level 10 by crowning it. Before we end off this video, I do want to try one more attempt at this weapon. I've been slowly pulling on it whenever I have some primos, but I don't think I've shown any of them because obviously I have not gotten the weapon. So can I get it with one more wish? Most likely not, but I will still attempt it. Pyro sigils and primo gems acquired, and I already know how this is gonna go, but let's do it anyways. Our wish is blue. So all the primos that I put onto that banner are kind of wasted now, which from the start, I kind of figured that would happen. And now, like I said, I think we just wait for the Spiral Abyss. I will keep farming artifacts in the meantime, but as of right now, I think we've pretty much done almost everything that we can. With that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy. Remember to check out boot.dev in the description down below. And as always, I will see you all next time.